Welcome to this week's edition of Sun News Blazer Beat. I'm Zoe Hansen.
And I'm Troy Grimmond. Thanks for tuning in. The Blazers men's basketball team kept it close with Jacksonville State, squeaking out a cheeky 81-79 win. Tanner Christian exploded for a huge game, racking up 26 points and 9 rebounds, just 1 rebound off from a double-double. Eric Demings delivered the dagger, scoring a layup with 3 seconds to play to secure the win. The Blazers face off against Youngstown State tomorrow in foreign territory.
Taking 2 wins in Greece was only the beginning to a successful start of the season for the women's basketball team. In August, the Blazers traveled to compete in 2 games in the Greece tour. The Blazers came out on top in both games and came back ready to dominate in the first game against La Verne University, which ended in a Trailblazer win of 116-59. Then in the last game against Jacksonville State University, the Blazers won 73-58. Unfortunately, that winning streak just ended in the matchup on Tuesday night against UNLV, 100-67. The Blazers will be on the road again to compete against Texas A&M Commerce Monday at noon.
The Utah Tech volleyball team just missed out on placing a spot in the WAC tournament. Only the top 8 teams in the conference compete in the WAC tournament. Unfortunately for the Trailblazers, they finished 9th after losing 2 out of 3 sets in the last conference game to Utah Valley University on Saturday. Overall, the team ended with 5 wins and 11 losses in the conference.
The Utah Tech pickleball team was ranked number 1 in the nation and are heading to the Collegiate National Championship this weekend. Blazer Beat producer Madison Dwiggins visited the team to explore the ranking system and to observe how the team is preparing for the championships.
Preparing for nationals this year, we are doing a lot of things. We have been practicing a whole bunch, obviously, but what we've done this year specifically that's been different than last year is we've played a lot more tournaments than last year. We've switched around our players a bunch more to get different looks, to get feels of who plays best with who, to see what our biggest strengths are, what our weaknesses are. Okay, so how the rankings work is it's run through DUPR, which is the Dynamic Universal Pickleball Rating System. I believe 2 is the lowest, 8 is the highest. Anything above like a 5.0 is considered semi-pro, and then like once you get past 5.5 to the 6.0 range and more, you're looking at pro players. So in order to be ranked for college, you have to play at least 1 college event, and then those players that play in the college event, you take the top 2 males, top 2 females, and then that's your team or your school's DUPR score basically.
So naturally we're going to have a huge target on our back because we're going in as the number 1 seed. So our team has just been practicing a bunch of different scenarios, preparing for the best, preparing for the worst, so that we know what to expect.
So my mentality is to play my very hardest and do my job. And I know it'll all work out because we're a really solid team, and I'm really excited to play.
We've just, again, been preparing for every type of situation. Our coach and our vice president have been in this situation before, so they're throwing a bunch of different game scenarios at us, to be prepared for everything.
Well, my personal goal this season was to get above 5.0 and start breaking into the pro scene. And I feel like I'm starting to do that, but I got my DUPR to a 5.0, and now I'm just working on getting it up and going pro. So.
Yeah, my biggest goal right now, I've already won all of my regional tournaments so far for college pickleball, so I would love to win college nationals too.
At the end, everything that we do to build up the team, to make our players better, to recruit other players is, does this help us win national? Does this help us win does this help us be the best team in the country?
The Collegiate National Championships start tomorrow in Atlanta, Georgia. Good luck, Trailblazer Pickleball.
The Blazers men's golf team just wrapped up their fall play for the 2023-2024 school year. I got a chance to interview head coach Brad Sutterfield on how the Blazers can prepare themselves for an improved spring slate.
I would say number 1, the strength of schedule we played a pretty tough schedule, so we played against a lot of good teams. So, you know, that shows us where we stack up. But that was probably one of the biggest challenges. We've set some really high goals. One is to get every guy probably 2 or 3 shots better per round. Our new facility with our practice area out at Black Desert will really help that. That'll make it so we can practice our short games a lot, which we really haven't had a chance to do. So The aspects, well, number one, just scoring averages. We got to drop our scores 2 to 3 shots per player. I think number one is just getting better in all aspects of our game. Number one, we got to get better with our short game, and we got to get a lot better at managing ourselves on the course, hitting the right shots at the right time, and just really just bringing our scores down.
The time has come. Rivalry week against the Southern Utah University Thunderbirds. We know the Thunderbirds are a formidable foe, but we hold the battle axe for a reason. On paper, the Thunderbirds' offense boasts an impressive 34 points per game and 48 touchdowns on the season. The Blazers have seen less success on offense, scoring 24 points per game with 28 total touchdowns. Even so, the Thunderbirds don't have nearly as many weapons as the Blazers do. Southern Utah receiver Isaiah Wooden boasts 857 receiving yards, and Zach Mitchell has 447 receiving yards. On the Blazers' end, Ricky Johnson, Bo Sparks, Javian Lofton, and Keith Davis all have over 400 receiving yards. In terms of the run game, the Blazers' top back Ronnie Walker Jr. is on par with the Birds' Braden Whistler. Walker has 552 yards and Whistler with 554. The showdown in St. George is slated on Saturday at 5, and you won't want to miss it. So Zoe, it's rivalry week. We got the game coming up. I need to hear a prediction.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Last year they kind of went and tried to take the battle axe early. I think there was 10 seconds left where they thought they won the game, but the game wasn't over. Anyways, we ended up winning and they actually got to go secure the axe. But they were at home. The Trailblazers were at home, and I think that's where they play best. So I think, if anything, they'll win. No difference than the 7 points. No more than a touchdown.
I'm going to have to back that up just solely because our offense is so high-powered. Ricky Johnson, Bo Sparks, Javian Lofton, Keith Davis, Ronnie Walker Jr. on par with Braden Whistler of Southern Utah in rushing yards. If we get our guys the ball, there's no telling what's going to happen. I feel like we're going to break this thing open.
I definitely agree. And on the other note, the Utah Tech men's soccer team was 1 game away from the WAC championships this season after losing to California Baptist University in the semifinals. After the break, head coach Johnny Broadhead explains what he and the team will be doing in the offseason to prepare for another successful season.
What if the end of the trail is just the beginning? The land of discovery is calling. Rise to it.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
We definitely improved, but our overall performance of the year is something that still motivates us. We want to keep getting better. What you put into it, you get out of it. So I think we're pretty motivated to try to improve that overall performance in a lot of different categories. But the guys proved, and a lot of the guys coming back proved that they're ready and that they can compete and put a product out there that's difficult to compete against and beat. The guys are definitely seeing what that mentality can do as a result, and if you bring it or if you don't have it, and maybe some reminders of some moments where that got brought out and it helped, or it didn't get brought out and it hurts. So I always feel like the team needs to be brought together after a win or after a loss. Sometimes it's hard after a loss, but I wanted to bring the guys in and just not let them be too bummed out and kind of enjoy this moment, because it's sour because it's lost. But I asked the guys, when does next year start? And Julian Herrera, who's going to be done, he, before I could even finish the sentence, he's like, it starts right now. And so all the preparation for next year, I guess I'm 5-6 days overdue for being planned like Julian we got to get spring games, the right spring schedule set up, all the recruiting, all the camps. We've got to kind of fill in that part of the program. So just again, another year Division I, you're going to learn more and more, and those would be some things that we know we've learned from and expect to help us.
After a 9-win, 9-loss season for the men's team, we have picked out some of the best moments of the season. Let's take a look. Starting it out, Carlos Vargas does a wall pass that tips off the foot of Ethan Bell, and Vargas takes the shot at the far left side of the goal.
Jared Allen dribbles down the side of the field to find a cross to Austin Wallace for the header in the top left corner of the goal. Perfectly slated.
Yeah, and this technique seemed to work well as Miguel Regino finds Sammy Cuevas near the 18. Cuevas takes on the defender and soars the ball right over the keeper for the goal.
Now how about Stockton Short with this unbelievable save? He jumps right behind Vladimir Cuevas and secures the ball.
And personally, my favorite goal of the season comes from Julian Herrera. You know it's a good goal when the defender finds the back of the net. Let's take a closer look at this goal.
I mean, let's put it in rewind here. A perfectly placed kick from AJ Chompini to Herrera for the header, which the keeper had no chance of saving.
That was fun to watch. And what an impressive goal to wrap up the men's highlights. Now let's take a look at some of the moments on the women's team.
Starting it off on offense, McKinley Barney comes down the left side looking for a cross-cage shot, and it's blocked by the keeper, but the ball comes rearing back towards the center with Lacey Fox cashing in with a header to the top left of the goal. And you can easily tell that's one of her more favorite goals of the season.
Definitely. And on the opposite side of the play, Portland State gets close to the 18, but before they can make a shot, Brianna Fry dives in and secures the ball.
Effortlessly, Brinley Ryder capitalizes and scores off of the assist from Rusick.
And in this next play, the Blazers find Tessa Thornton making a run in the center of the field and finishes with a one-touch shot to the bottom right corner.
From the corner kick, the ball finds Carly Heaton for the header that somehow hits the net behind her.
And lastly is Lacey Fox with a shot right outside the box that sneaks into the bottom right corner. Although the women's team lost in the first game of the WAC tournament, they still had some great moments.
And that's it for this week's edition of Sun News Blazer Beat. Thanks for tuning in.
We will see you here next week, same time, same place. Have a great week, Trailblazers.